Yeah, big wins on the road. San Diego State went into Boise State. They had a full week to prepare after the horrific loss to Utah State at home. I'll tell you, so much joy just to sit there and watch their kids play their brand of defense because the Aztecs are so big and they are so long and they're so athletic. And you know it's coming. It might not be in the first 8 minutes. It might be in the 19th minute of the first half, or it might be at the start of the second half, or it might be when there's a 10-point deficit and all of a sudden you can see in the eyes of the Boise State guards, they're freaking out. They can't get into their offense. And the Aztecs are manning up beyond the three-point arc and leaning on them and body banging them. And because of their length, they're intercepting passes. They're forcing turnovers. This is Boise State, which had a 70-10 record at home in that arena. This is Boise State totally unraveling at home as the Aztecs just leaned all over them with their defense. San Diego State sitting there at 9-3. They get Air Force midweek. Got to go to New Mexico after that. You know what's going to happen in the pit? This.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool just to see Brian Dutcher just run these guys off the bench onto the floor. Next man up's going to do the same thing as the starters just did. And obviously, you know, what we saw in the comeback, come from behind win was really impressive. Miles Byrd has become a star. Miles Byrd's got no conscience. Dude's going to shoot threes and hit baskets. He scored 22. He single-handedly rallied them from the deficit. And then here comes wave after wave of a defense. I look at the Boise guards, and they just freaked. They could not get into their offensive sets with possession. And suddenly the clock's down to 7 seconds. You still haven't gotten the ball in on the post or into the corner. It's just a really good team. And UCSD, how about the Tritons? Next man up. You know, their team has lived a lot thanks to Tyler McGhee's three-point shots. They go to Fullerton and they just run them out of their own gym. And Tritons are 13-2. And they are legitimate to win the Big West. Could you imagine San Diego, which had a reputation of being not a basketball town, might have two teams in March Madness from America's finest city? Tritons win the Big West.
Yeah.
Aztecs earn it by being nationally ranked, come out of the Mountain West.
I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, as a Triton alum, I was the PA announcer for the men's basketball team in my senior year at UCSD. And you play like in a high school gym, and there'd be like just parents and a couple of friends there, and they're playing small like religious schools. And to see where they are now is incredible. Yeah, they have a legit shot to win the Big West. They were up 40 points early in the second half. It was like 60-something to 20-something against Fullerton, which, by the way, that Fullerton gym floor, do you see that thing with the orange palm trees and everything? That's just a disgrace. But, you know, USD has made the tournament a few times, but I think that was before we had the Steve Fisher, you know, doing some great things with the Aztecs. But love that. But that Aztec game, you're right, Miles Byrd. Not only can that guy hit the three from deep, and he's fearless. He can play in the paint. But his passing is extraordinary. He'll make the no-look pass. He'll dish it off. He'll set up the alley-oop. I mean, he knows how to play Showtime basketball, and he's been great. I mean, Miles Heidi was getting the offensive rebounds, putting balls back in the hoop. Taj DeGorville looked really good. He was on the court in the closing minutes of that game. I mean, it was great, and you still have no Reese Waters, and he's coming back. They say maybe for the New Mexico game. And then back to UCSD, they got a big game Saturday against Irvine. So this next weekend is going to be great for both teams.
Yeah, the bench bunch you just made allusions to with the Aztecs, they had 10 baskets. They got 10 baskets off the bench.
And that was without Farrell Compton, who was sitting. So, yeah, I'm seeing a lot here that I really like.
And by the way, Irvine, UCSD, Irvine's 13-2. That's big time.
Yeah, and I think they were the preseason favorite to win the Big West. So, you know, it used to be Santa Barbara was the dominant team in that conference. Now, lately, it's been Irvine, but the Tritons knocked off Santa Barbara 2 in a row, home and away. They can maybe do it with Irvine.
Okay, if you have a college basketball comment, feel free to jump on board. Fans Forum. Last time.